Welcome to the official podcast of Geoparks WA, where we will be discussing all things geoparks. In this episode, we will be answering some of the big questions surrounding geoparks. What are they? What do they involve? How do they benefit the community? And what is geotourism? To learn about geoparks and more, we will be joined by Alan Briggs and Ross Dowling, co-founders of the Geoparks WA organisation, who will share their knowledge and expertise with us. First, let's hear from Ross, who will take us through what geoparks actually are.
Yeah, geoparks were established by geologists in the 1970s. At that time, the World Heritage regions of the world, three-quarters of the World Heritage regions were cultural, they weren't natural, and three-quarters of the natural regions were nothing to do with geology. So geology really wasn't getting a look in World Heritage. No one was celebrating the dynamism and what geology offers the world, the landscapes, the landforms, the key places like the Grand Canyon and others around the world. So it was geologists who started it. And the geologists then created this thing called geoparks. And geoparks were established with the idea of first celebrating geology, but then, unlike normal parks, which are about preservation, geoparks were about creating good for the local community, being of benefit to local communities. So having not only an environmental aspect, an educative aspect about the geology and the region, but also providing benefits for local communities who live there, and also providing economic benefits, not only to that community, but to the state. So that's the backstory of geoparks. Now, today, geoparks are part of UNESCO, United Nations Education, Scientific, Cultural Organisation, and they are a third major program of UNESCO. So World Heritage is one, the Biosphere movement, or Man in the Biosphere, is a second, and the third one is what's called UNESCO Global Geoparks. And right now, in the end of 2025, there's 229 UNESCO Global Geoparks in 50 countries around the world.
As Ross mentioned, geoparks are more than just geology. Alan, could you please elaborate on this point?
For me, geoparks are created by local communities, for local communities, with a view to driving local business and creating employment, and really marketing or promoting local geotourism type products. And geotourism is the driver within geoparks as a fundraiser or economic driver. For me, they're by the people, for the people, and are part of a regional development program that we support, and we're hoping, and we do have government support for now.
It is evident that geoparks provide major benefits to the local community in many aspects, including in educational, recreational, and economic dimensions. Let's take a deeper look at how geoparks are able to benefit the community.
The real benefits of geoparks is twofold. One is the economic return, the benefit to the local community. It's a vehicle for basically bringing about regional sustainable development. So with that, there's lots of benefits for the people living in the area where a geopark is: economic, social, and also environmental, because geoparks have to, because they're a UNESCO program, they have to subscribe to UNESCO's Sustainable Development Goals. So they have to be looking after the environment. So geoparks are about preserving the environment, bringing benefits to local communities, about economic revitalisation of places. So not only do they have all those benefits, but amongst it all, they're about bringing community pride back into that local community. So I've been in some parts of the world where the local people say, before the geopark, all their local their children or younger people left the region because there was nothing for them to do. But now that there is a geopark there, they're finding the younger generation staying, and with that, through the jobs that are there, the younger people are bringing back their language, their culture, their songs, their dance, their cuisine, and so it's a true revitalisation of the community. So geoparks are fantastic. They are absolutely a wonderful, tool for bringing about development of a region that ticks all boxes: environmental, social, and economic. So it's a surprise to me that there's none in Australia yet.
That's right. At the present time, in late 2025, there are no UNESCO Global Geoparks in Australia, which is something that we would love to change here at Geoparks WA. As we've discussed, the establishment of a geopark would provide significant benefits to the community, as well as promoting geotourism in the region. But what is geotourism?
One of the key aspects of geoparks is that it's powered by what's called geotourism. Now, geotourism is not geological tourism, about the geology only. Geotourism is much broader. So I'm an environmental scientist, and when I talk about the environment to students at universities or people around the world, I try to explain it simply by saying the environment's made up of ABC elements. The A is abiotic, or non-living parts of geology and climate. The B, or biotic, is the living parts, fauna and flora. And the C is the cultural parts, which is the how people lived in an area in the past, maybe the indigenous population, and how people live there today. So geoparks are great for when a tourist comes to an area. There'll be signs, or there'll be podcasts, or there'll be explanations, apps, which tell the entire story of each site. Not just geologically, if it's a geological site, not just culturally, if it's an indigenous site, and not just in terms of the botany or ecology, if it's a biotic or fauna and flora site. But for every site, there should be an explanation which is holistic, which explains how the geology that you're looking at, how that and the climate have shaped the plants and animals that are in that region, and then how altogether the geology, the climate, the plants and the animals have shaped the way people lived here in the past, and why you've got maybe a later European overlay there today. So that's a great story, which is not part of ecotourism, not part of cultural tourism. It's holistic, and it tells the whole story. So it's wonderful for visitors, and it's also a great learning for the people that live in the area who maybe have not connected the dots previously about their local environment.
Thank you to Professor Ross Dowling for that overview of geotourism, and to Alan Briggs for his input on what geoparks are. We have now covered some of the fundamentals of geoparks in Western Australia. Join us in our next episode, where we will consider how geoparks are formed and what is involved in establishing one here in Western Australia. For more information, head to our website at australiangeoparksnetwork.org and follow our social media page at Geoparks WA.